My name is Akot Sani from South Sudan, and my dream is to play professional football anywhere in the world. I left home with empty hands and a bag full of dreams and ambitions to become a professional footballer. Is it going to be easy? Of course not, but it is definitely worth it in the end. I have chosen to put my life into this, and there is no going back till I achieve my dream, because dreams are meant to be lived. Where there's a will, there is always a way. Welcome to my journey. This is the road to pro contract. I prefer to play outside my country than playing actually in my country. Oftentimes, people say playing outside your country is very difficult because of the language, adaptation, and all the things that come with it. However, I actually have looked at it from a very broader perspective, whereby I came to realize that playing outside does not give you the luxury of making mistakes like if you're in your country. If you're outside playing in a foreign country, every single mistake that you make, you call for it. You are not allowed to be average. You're not allowed to actually feel down. You are always made to be like strong at all times. And in the long run, that even makes you a better player. You might have come from your home country where you were average, mid, and you are a little bit passive. But once you get into a foreign country and play in a team, and now all the expectations are high, they don't give you the luxury to make mistakes, they do not give you the luxury to be passive. They are looking at you to deliver. And I looked at that and I said, this is actually good in a way, because after a couple of months or after a season when I've been playing abroad, you actually find that you are a totally different player than if you're in your home country. In your home country, they're always going to pat your back. Nobody's going to like pressure you. You're always playing with your friends. I understand playing outside your home country comes with a lot of unfun things, especially outside the field, leave alone the on-field things. But then again, overcoming these things, this is even what makes you, first of all, you start to learn what it feels like to be independent. Maybe you're coming back from your home country where you don't wash, you don't clean, you basically don't cook, you don't do anything. Because, for example, if I go back to South Sudan, I do not even wash my own clothes, you see, and I have everything taken care of for me. But once I left home when I was 18, 19 to go to Thailand, and I started to learn the reality actually of being an independent person. Back home, I used to say I don't eat some foods just because I know that, yeah, even if I don't eat this, I'll eat late in the day with something else, or they'll try to improvise for me to have something else to eat. But coming outside, I realized that, okay, I have to like survive. I have to, first of all, I have to learn to budget, eat the cheapest things just to keep me going. And it has also taught me to learn now how to do things on my own. I can wash, I can iron, I can cook, I can clean my room. I am very, very self-sufficient right now. Again, on the field, you are expected to give results. As a foreigner, whichever team you go to, for you to play, you have to be 2-3 times levels above the local players. Because one, you have to get over the fact that they actually know these guys. And secondly, why would they even give you a chance if you are not like extraordinary, if they cannot mount pressure on you, because they cannot mount the pressure on a local player. I've seen, or I've actually experienced it, whereby a local player makes a mistake and they don't say anything, and I make the same mistake and I am actually singled out for it. I'll give an example. When I was playing in Portugal, I'm not going to mention the team or anything. There was this team that I was playing for, and in training, every other time I had other foreign players. Every other time a local player kicks me or he kicks a foreigner, they don't call a foul, or they just blow a foul and nothing happens. The play continues. And once we, the foreigners, touch the local guys, the game is stopped. The coach is screaming at us, play slowly, and all these kind of things. And it got to a point where like it was getting too much into my head, and I was like, listen, I tackled somebody one time, and the coach was angry. I was like, no. Once these guys, when they tackle us, we don't say anything. You don't say anything. But once I just do something which is not even a big tackle on him, you want to make it look a big deal. I understand you're protecting them. They're your boys. And that was the starting point where I had problems with the coach. And for some reason, I was actually frozen out of the team and all that. And I came to realize that they were actually sharpening me. You understand? These are hard times that actually sharpen me, because when I'm kicked, it means now I can live with pain and endure the harshness of the game, which is something that you're going to experience on a match day. When a team loses, they're never going to look at local players and say this local player has done this. A local player might have missed a sit and missed a penalty, but they're going to give a foreigner a certain kind of eye that, man, you could have done better. You know, even when in situations that you could have done absolutely nothing or you did your best, they're always going to look at you and they'll be like, you could have done better. And this is why you realize that most of the foreign players that come from whatever part of the world, they come into a different country, they come average, but after a while, these guys end up moving levels and the local players keep remaining at the where they have been, simply because once these guys, the pressure starts to mount on them and the guys takes in positively, he starts to use the pressure to his advantage, he gets better, and once he goes back home, even when he was an average player back home, everyone's going to look at him and they see, oh, there is so much changes into his game. So we can talk about playing outside, being lonely and all that, but try to see a bigger picture. Why did you even come here in the first place? Did you just come here to try to find comfort? No, you don't come here to find comfort. You came here to create comfort, and while creating something, you have to go through hell. You have to go through a process, and this is what most people go through when they come outside here. So I would choose over and over again, even with all these obstacles. Whoever knew that I would know how to sort out visas, sort out documentation, insurance, so many things that you have that nobody, actually the local players do not even have an idea about. As a foreigner, now your mind has to wake up. Back home, you are allowed to have the luxury of, you don't have to think of the residency, you don't have to think of the lease, you don't have to think of, like, you have no business with bills basically if you live with your family. But outside here, you are totally a different person, and by the time you go back, things that you used to react to, you don't even react to them anymore because you've seen bigger problems. Like, man, I don't know how many examples I could give you of things that when I was back home in South Sudan, before I even left my home country, I was just very, very nonchalant about them, or I didn't even appreciate them like this. Like, the family, let's say family provides foods and everything, like I eat at home and everything, and I was saying I don't eat certain foods, and sometimes I complain when the food is not nice or whatever. I would not complain, but I would feel like, come on, today is not this. And once I started to become independent and live alone and now have to look for my own money and try to budget, I started to appreciate every time I'm feeding myself. I'm like, oh damn, actually this person who was feeding me back then was actually trying a lot, you know. But when you are home, it's like you despise things, but now you're kind of like a man for yourself. And obviously, as time goes by, you're also going to have some partner in your life, and then it is going to help you in that way. Football wise, like I said, you're always going to be like better. You're always going to be better. It actually, there are two things. It either breaks you or it makes you. And depending on how you take things, I think it's always best that you try to play outside your home country. It's very difficult, but that's what you need to create a name, make yourself a better person as a player, as a human being, and also try you see things way differently than if you were staying back home. So I would prefer to play outside. I don't know what you guys think. Would you like to play in your home country or play outside the country and experience the things that you have to go through as a foreigner in a foreign land? Write down in the comment section below and let me hear your side of that story. It's been me, your boy Sunny. Until then, peace.